Hi, good evening, everyone. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. So, I think still people are joining, but okay, let me give a little intro first. So, I'm Manideepa. I'll be one of your course instructors for Python this term. Uh, I'll be mostly taking maybe one session a week or one session in 2 weeks, right? Now, for my sessions, I'll just tell you like the way I would like to arrange it is. So if I'm doing a concept summary, like today, we are going to start with week 2, right? So week 1, all sessions are completed.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. So in the concept summary first session, we are going to first go over whatever theory is there. So since Python is totally a programming related course, right? So we don't really go into that much theory. We'll rather just do the coding, right? So first I'll just give you a brief overview, whatever is there in this week, what we are going to cover. Then we are going to practice some problems, right? And not your practice assignment questions or graded questions. These are problems that I have taken from many different places. So we are going to practice those, right? So first, today is week 2. Week 2, in mainly we are going to discuss variables, right? And different, I think data types are already covered. So variables, strings, and if else statements, ellipse statements, conditionals, right? So all this we'll discuss today. Now, let me see how many people have joined. So I hope all of you know that we have started again, resumed streaming the session, so everything is available on YouTube. Okay, I think enough people are here. Let's start. So starting with variables, right? I think is my screen visible?
No. No, ma'am.
Okay, one second. Now,
No, ma'am. Yes, yes.
okay. Is it? Can you see the PDF?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So let's talk about variables first. What are variables? Any idea from your side? What is a variable?
Variable is like a jar in which we can put different type of values.
Right. So it's sort of like a container, right? In a variable, I can store anything. Now in Python, the good thing is that we don't have to introduce a variable separately, right? Like in C, we have to first uh, acknowledge what is the data type of that variable. We have to first define the variable, then we can store anything in it. But in Python, we don't have to do all that. So Python, you directly can just introduce a variable, assign it any value you want, right? So what are the criteria for naming a variable, right? A variable can be anything. Okay, you can have alphanumeric names for a variable. You can also use underscore. But there is one thing, you cannot start the variable with this, or you cannot start it with any numbers. Right? You can use special character underscore, but you cannot start it with any numbers. That's the only constraint. Okay. Now, variables are used in almost every program that we are going to do. Right? Even when we discuss strings. So strings are also going to be stored in some variable. You can directly print a string also. Right? So, what is the difference between character and string? Anyone?
Ma'am, can you repeat question?
Yeah. So, I'm asking what is difference between character and string? So, in CT also we learn this, right? Char and string. What is the difference? Character means what? A single character value, right? It can be anything. It can be alphanumeric, special characters, anything. That is a single character. That's char data type. And string means anything that is more than one character. Now, string can be introduced inside single quotations also, double quotations also. That's up to you, right? But in Python, we don't have a character data type. So basically, in Python, if you have, let's say, a character like this, right? If you store it, this is string data type only. So a string of length 1. Okay, in Python, we don't have character data type separately. So string means what? You can either put it inside single quotes, put it inside double quotes. any character you want. Okay, it can be alphanumeric special characters. Now I don't know if okay, have you watched the videos for this week, the lectures? So slicing is there, something called slicing, right?
String slicing, right?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
So what does that mean? What is slicing? Basically, okay, see one thing. If I want to, let's say I have a string like this. Okay. Hello world is the most basic thing. What is the index of this position? First position?
0.
0.
0. Always starts with 0. Right? Now if I write print a of 1, what will this print?
E.
This. Okay. So always index starts from 0. Now we are obviously going to do all this in, I am using Spider. You can use any ID you want. Right now, if I want to loop through a string means I want to traverse the entire string. So now you know how to extract any character out of a string. So if you have the string, you can just start with 0th index and then you can just follow the index and you can extract any character you want. Just give that index in third brackets like this, right? Now if I want to, let's say, traverse through the string. So let's say I have a string B, let's call it, if I am storing this. Okay, now I want to print every character in this. So I can easily create something called a loop, right? A for loop. So how will that look like if I want to loop through or traverse through the letters of a string and print every letter? So I can write for x in B. Then you just write print x. Right? So this will do what? For x means for every x. That means every character will be first taken as x and that x will be printed. So first B is printed, next x is A, next x is N. Like this we can loop through a string also. Okay, these are very basic functions. One more function. Okay, so we are going to see a lot of string methods later on, but let's do the most basic method, that is length, len. So this len function, what does it do? It returns the length of a string. So this banana. Okay, if I write print length of B, okay, obviously you have to put it inside brackets. So what is this? What is this going to print?
6.
6. Right, whatever is the length of the string.
6.
Then right, 6. Now one more thing that we can do with strings, lots of things we can do. Okay, strings are very fun. You can do a lot of things on them. So let me take a variable like this, txt. Inside this, let me store a sentence. The best things in life are free. Okay, so now I want to see whether free is present in the following text or not. Right, now let's say you just know the variable name, you know some sentence has been stored in it, you don't know what the sentence is, but you want to know whether free is a word that is present in the sentence. So how can you check for that? You can write print free in txt. So this will tell you whether free is present or not, true or false. Right, this is something you can do. So this will return a boolean value. Okay, again we can check like this also. If one more way to do this, if you want to see, let's say I want to see if free is present in the sentence, then I will print something. Okay, so if free is present, then I will print that yes, free is present. This is the sentence I want to print if the word free exists in the txt variable, whatever string that is storing. Okay, then how can I write? I can just write if
Can we assign free to a variable and then declare it as
yes,
if
yes,
that
that
is
also you can do. Sure. Okay. Your
This is
voice is very
this
low.
is
Can
the
you?
Boolean value. So execute it true or false.
Yeah, Boolean will always give true, false. Okay. Boolean data type only takes two different values, true and false. We to understand for that. Yeah, come again.
I'm asking that it will be always true or false, or it can be in yes or no also.
No, it will print true or false only. Okay. See here.
Okay.
Let's just write it since This is better. Okay. Can you see the ID? I think I haven't shared the ID, right? Wait. I'll just share my entire screen. Okay. This spider ID is visible to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So let's do the same thing over here. Okay. TXT is storing a sentence. The best things in life are free. Okay. This is my sentence. Now in this, if I ask print free in TXT and run this. Okay, this returned the true value over here. Let me just increase the font a bit. So this is Boolean. Now, if I want to see that, let's say in some cases you will see in some problems, what we have to do is we have to check whether something is present in a string. If it is present, then we'll print something. If it is not present, then we'll print something else. Okay. Now that is an if-else thing. Okay, we will discuss it more in more details when we discuss if-else. But just to give you an example now, see, if statement, what we can do is if free in TXT, then you will print, let's say basic yes. Okay, so this will search it there. So it printed true yes. Now if I remove this and then do it, so it is giving false. And since here I haven't given an else condition, right, that's why it is not printing anything. If in an else statement I write no, then it will print that no. Okay, these are some basic string operations. Now coming to slicing, before I go to the other string methods, let's understand slicing first. Okay, because it can be a little difficult in the beginning. So slicing means what? Basically, what do we mean by slice? So if I slice a cake, means just a part of the cake I'm taking out, slicing it out. Same thing. When I'm slicing a string, I'm just extracting a part of the string. Okay. Now slicing is very flexible. You can slice a string any way you want. Okay, because how we do slicing is by using indices. That's why I discussed index first. So now, since you know that index starts from 0, if you have the string, then you know all the indices of all the letters in that string, all the characters. So you can slice any way you want. One example is, let's say if I write, okay, let's just not take this. Let's take the normal hello world. Okay. So in this, if I want to implement slicing, now I'll explain, but first let's see what happens. So if I write print B, then slicing, obviously whatever slicing you want to do, you have to do it inside of these third brackets. Okay, if I write 2:5, so anyone can tell me what this will print?
It would start with L
Second character.
and
L O.
So H is
O.
correct.
I mean LLO.
Second, third, and fourth.
Correct.
LL2,
See,
comma.
LLO. Okay, all of you are correct. So 2 means what? So it is starting with this 2 index, right? So H is 0, E is 1, L is 2. So starting with that. Now 5, that is the index of what? This second L is 3, then O is 4. This comma is 5, right? But it is not going up to that. So it will always take whatever you put at the end index in slicing. It will take, if I say n, it will take n minus 1. Okay. So the starting index will be same as what you put here. End index will be 1 less than what you're putting, right? So if I put 4, then it will just be LL. Okay. So it is the most simple type of slicing. Now let's do a bit more. If I write print, okay, let's tag out this. Print B :5. What is this going to give?
0 to 4.
HELL.
H.
So it is giving hello. Why is that?
Yes.
So basically, since I haven't given a start index, right? It is starting from the absolute start position, 0th index. Right? Till which
Zero
position?
index.
It will
Till
go
fourth
till
position.
Fourth position.
correct.
N
N
minus
minus 1 again.
4.
Okay. In Python, now see, since we are doing this now, right? These are very elementary weeks. So later on, this will become very basic for you. But still, people make mistake because they don't remember that n minus 1 thing. Because in Python, everywhere this is used. Okay, even in loops, when we do for loop, you'll see that if I give a range 1 to n, it will take till n minus 1 only. Okay, so always remember this thing. So when I am not giving a start index, it will start from 0th, and the end index, whatever I give, if it is n, it will go till n minus 1. Right? So last index not included. Now again, let's tag this out. Next, what we can try? Okay, this one, print b. What will this give?
Till last.
From second to last.
From second to last.
Okay, let's see.
Second to second last.
So 0, 1, 2. The second one is this L, this first L, right? This is the second index.
Yeah.
Till the end, because I haven't given end index, that means it will go till the end. Okay, just give me 1 second. I have to open the door. 1 second. Yeah. Okay. So if I don't give first index, it will start from the beginning, 0th index. If I don't give last index, it will go till the end. Right? Simple up till here. Now let's do something called negative index. Okay. So the only difference, one part about this is that when we do negative index, right? Positive index always start from 0. So first index means 0th index, first character. Negative index starts from negative 1. Okay. So can you tell me what is the negative 1 index element in this string?
The exclamation mark.
T.
Exclamation mark. Very good. Now if I write like this, print b. Okay. What will this print?
Will print like
Print O2 exclamation mark.
ORL.
Okay. O2, you are saying O2 exclamation.
World.
ORL, world. It will print ORL.
So only ORL, you're saying.
ORL, yes, ma'am.
no space
Ma'am,
at
B.
birth.
No, ma'am.
Will print world.
Okay. Lots
D-
of different opinions. Let's just run it. Let's see.
I think D also present.
ORL.
ORL.
So why is this ORL?
Ma'am, because it starts at -5.
It starts from -5.
So what is the -5 position? So if
Start.
exclamation is -1,
O.
-2, -3, -4, -5 is this O.
O.
Right. Now what is the end index? That means in right hand side, up to what I will go?
From it will be
Minus
to
2.
the right.
D is
Right.
end index,
The
so it
minus
will not
So
consider
D is the end index, that is -2, but it is not included. Same thing. Okay, think of this -2 as your n. Okay, it
Which
will
is
go
not
till n
included.
-1. Yeah, last index is never included. So this is only going to give ORL. Whatever is this right hand side index, now this is never included. Just one less than this. Okay. So this is one example of your negative index. Although these
Ma'am, you are saying what is index of D? Can you repeat it?
index of D is, see, if I do negative indexing, then last character of the string, that is this exclamation mark, is your -1. Okay, it doesn't start from 0. 0 starts when we do positive indexing, that is normal indexing. So 0 means first index of first element H. If I do negative indexing, if I say what is B -1, okay, that is your exclamation mark. See, if I just write print B -1, Now run this. Is giving C, this exclamation mark. So this is the first thing, negative index. Now D is what? -2. So -2 is what? The range up to which I have given in the slicing. That means it always goes till n-1. So one index before D, that is till L it will print. Okay. See, slicing we will do again. I mean, I don't think it is there in this week that much. But yeah, these are the basics of slicing. With this, it is enough for you to do basic slicing. Now, next what we want to do is string methods, right? Let's discuss some methods. So I have some questions which are more important, so we can apply those methods. But first, let's learn what are the methods. See, this PDF that I'm showing you, it is present in your supplementary contents lecture PPT slides, right? So these are some of the methods. First method is saying lower. Okay. So how do we use these methods? Let's say I am storing my string in X variable. Okay. Now if I write X.lower, then this open close parenthesis. So that will do what? Convert that entire string that has been stored in X variable into lowercase. So here it is given in very nice way. See, X is storing this string. Okay. So here you can see it is all mixture of uppercase, lowercase. So now on this X, if I do X.lower, it will give Python string methods all in lowercase. Similarly, upper, now you obviously understand this upper will give all in uppercase. Again, if I do capitalize, so capitalize and title don't mix among these two. Okay, capitalize means it will just convert the first character of the entire string into uppercase. So only this P will be in uppercase. Okay, rest all in lowercase. And if I do title, title means how do I give title of any document? That means in the title, every word should have the first character in uppercase. That's what it does. See, PSM, all are in uppercase, rest in lowercase. Again, we can do swap case. Swap case means this X is storing what? This string, right? So it is a mixture of uppercase, lowercase. Now when I do swap case, the characters that are in lowercase will convert to uppercase and the ones in uppercase are converted to lowercase. Just the opposite. Okay, these are some basic string methods. There are others also. So is lower. So this method, see, whenever we start with is, right? So is what? It's like a question. So is lower. That means, is it lower? Is it all in lowercase? That means this type of methods will always give output in a Boolean format, because whenever we ask a question, the answer is either true or false in this case, right? So X is storing Python. Now if I print X dot is lower, so here I can see, yeah, all the characters are in lowercase, so it will print true. Now if I take this string where P is in caps and then you ask is lower, no. First character is caps, no, it is false. Same like is lower, just the counterpart is what? Is upper. So if all your characters are in uppercase, it will return true. If even one character is in lowercase, it will return false. Again, is title. So is title, same as the title method, right? Title does what? Capitalizes all the singular words first character. So is title will return true if the string is following the rules of a title. That is, for every word, the first letter is capitalized. Like this one. In this first one, you see all the first letters are capitalized, so it will return true. If even one of the first letters are not capitalized, it will be false. Very simple. Next is digit. Okay, just by the name you can tell. You don't even have to remember this. Is digit means what? It will return true when if all characters are digits, right? There are no alphabets. So 1, 2, 3.
Ma'am.
Yeah.
Ma'am, could you please run all of this method in Spider or?
Yeah, I'll show you everything. Okay, let me just go through the PDF once. I'll do this implementation in some nicer problems. Okay, these are very basic.
That's great.
Yeah. So in is alpha, again, it will return true if all are alphabetical characters, no digits in it, no special characters. Is alpha numeric, right? Alnum means alphanumeric. So both are allowed. Alphabets also allowed, numericals also allowed. If both are present, true. Okay, if all characters are, okay, tell me one thing, is alnum. Now here if I check, just for the string ABC, what will it return? True or false?
False.
In alnum, what is the description? It returns true if all characters are alphanumeric. That means They fall in this domain. So it is never saying that both alphabet and numerical has to be present. Okay, it is saying that it shouldn't be anything outside of that. That means it shouldn't be special characters like this at the rate, star, hash. This shouldn't be there. It will return true for 1 2 3 also, for ABC also. Okay, but no special characters are allowed. So again,
No, ma'am. Like I checked it and it's showing like false.
it is showing false. Let me check also once.
Yeah.
It should not. I mean, alphanumeric, if it is, it will be fine. Let's see. Okay, if I store XYZ and A dot is alnum. See, it is giving true. Okay, because see, alnum means what? That the domain is alphanumeric domain. So it can be anything. It can be alphabets purely, it can be purely numbers, or it can be a mixture of both, as long as there are no special characters. Now in this string only, if I add this, then it is giving false, right?
I just like executed one code and it's like S, hi Raz, how are you? And I checked it and it's showing false. I don't know why.
Is there a question mark?
No, ma'am. I haven't used anything. It's just sentence.
Okay, I think there is a
Is there
blank
a space
space,
between
right?
those sentences? Yes.
Yeah, that it is not taking. Okay, it has to be alphabet or numeric. No spaces also.
Oh, I took space. Like it's whole
Yeah.
sentence.
That won't be there. See, the domain is purely alphanumeric. It doesn't understand space. Okay. So other methods are what? See, this method is very useful. Okay. Even like for those of you who want to go into developmental purposes, I have seen many times this trailing spaces, right? So trailing spaces are there. It could be by mistake, but this one small mistake is very hard to detect. So it is always better, if you're taking input from user, you use this strip method, okay, with a blank. That means it will strip it, if it will strip the in like whatever is the input of any trailing spaces, white spaces, like before or after. Okay, now we can also strip it of any other characters that we want. Like if this is my X, so Python, which is preceded by a lot of your this hyphen characters, and again like after it also we have a lot of these hyphen characters. Now if I write X dot strip, and inside this parenthesis I put this hyphen character, that means strip whatever this X is carrying of any of this character, like wherever this character is present, strip it, right? Now remember, it should be before or after, like trailing spaces or trailing characters. If I write L strip, it is just left strip. So whatever characters are on the left side, those will be removed. Okay, right strip is similarly just the characters on the right side are removed. See here, only the left side hyphens are removed. Next, only the right side hyphens are removed. But strip is a very important method. I'll show you a good example of this also. Then we have this starts with. So starts with will return true when if the string starts with a specified value. So I can check. So again, see, whenever we are checking something, right? So again, there are only two possibilities. Either it is yes or it is no. That means either it starts with a specific character that I'm looking for, then it is true. If it doesn't, it's false. Right? So if this is my string Python, starts with a capital P. Now if I write X dot starts with capital P, it is true. But if I change the case, it is case sensitive, right? So it will return false. Or if I check with any other character also, it will return false. Ends with same thing, just the last character I'll take, right? See, all of these methods, whatever they are doing, right? Python is a good language. Why? Because you don't have to write a lot of code that you would have to write in other languages, right? In other languages we don't have these methods, so we have to write the code. If I want to check that whether some word is starting with P in C, if I want to write, I have to write the entire code, that okay, I have to first extract the first character, then match it with what I want to match it with, then I can return true or false. So it's a whole thing. But in Python, just one method will give you true or false. So starts with, ends with, yeah, Count is also very nice method. So it will return the number of times a specific value is occurring in a string. So Python string methods. Now how many times is small t occurring in it? 3 times. Right. So if you write print x dot count small t, it will count how many times small t occurs in this entire string. So 3 is the answer. Small s occurs only once. So whenever we are dealing with strings, it is definitely going to be case sensitive. Capital S, small s. Again, index. So if you can also search for the index of a particular element in a string. Now, if I write small t, right, x dot index small t. So at what index small t is present? Now small t is present at 3 different places in the string, but we will only take the first occurrence. The first occurrence is at second index 0, 1, 2. So it will print that. Again for s, it is at the 20th index, right? Then replace. Replaces, what it does is very simple. See, it will
Ma'am?
take a string. Yeah.
Ma'am, can you please repeat the index method?
Yeah. See, index means what? We all know what is index. String index starts from 0. We can also do negative indexing, right? Now, usually we do positive index only. So this string, Python string methods. Here the 0th index is carrying this first capital P, right? Now, if I want to know that what is the index of the small t here, okay, so I can just write x dot index in parentheses. You write the character for which you want to find the index. Now t is present at 3 different places. It is present in all the words in Python, in string, and methods. So which index will it show? It will show the index at which t occurs first in the string, parsing from left to right. Okay, so left to right, if I go, t occurs first at this second index. So the output will be 2. Okay, smallest occurs at 20th index, output is 20. Now replace method, what it does is, in a string, if you have a specified value that you want to replace with another specified value. So in Python string methods, if this string, this word here, if I want to replace this capital S with a small s, so I can just write, so this, see, all of these methods, what are these things inside the parentheses? These are arguments, sort of, right? Parameters. So we learned in CT, all of you have done the CT course, so you know that whenever we define a procedure, so whatever we called as procedures over at CT, same thing here is called function, right? These are all inbuilt functions, inbuilt methods. So you don't have to write the code. So replace capital S comma small s. This order is very important, okay, because wherever the code for this function is written, it will take these parameters in this exact order that you are providing. Okay, if you mess up this order, then if I write small s first, capital X next, then what will happen? Anyone tell me?
Yeah, the last s gets replaced by capital S.
By capital S, right? So you have to be careful about the order of these parameters. Now, similarly, if you want to replace capital M with small m, so it will replace this methods, this first m with a small m, and then you can print x and you will see the result. Obviously, this method will not return anything until you print, right? This is just going to internally replace. So there is no output. Output will be when you print. So these are all the different string methods that we have. Okay, now let's do some actual code. Okay, enough theory. Now let's write some code. Any doubt till now?
No.
Okay, you let me know any part if you have a doubt.
Ma'am,
Ma'am,
is it only for string or we can do this for integer also?
So integers are allowed inside strings, right? So if you want to put numeric values inside quotations, that is also treated as a string only. Okay.
Excuse me, ma'am.
For integer data type, that will not be allowed, these methods. Yeah.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yeah, go on.
Ma'am, the last page you show, as you said, we can't do for print. It is only valid for replace. What happen if we write print? It will show error.
No. I said that when you see these other methods, right? Here we are printing x dot count t. So this is giving the output. So as long as you don't print, if you just write like this, x equals to x dot replace, this will just do the replacement. It will not give any output until you print. Right. Now if you print x, then it will print the modified version of the string.
Ma'am, from the index method, we are only getting positive. What about negative index?
Yeah,
How
so
we
these
can get?
no, in inbuilt index method you will get positive index only. Okay, because usually we only use positive index. Negative index is used when we want to parse the string, let's say from right to left, it is easier. Okay, you don't want to traverse all the way from left to right. Let's say I only want to print this part of the string, right? I don't have to parse the entire string for that. I can just start from the last index. So when you want to start from the last index, then it is better to use negative index. But inbuilt, it is always positive. Now, see, yeah.
When we use the title method, will it also capitalize the first letter of preposition as well?
It will capitalize the first letter of every single word in that sentence.
Okay.
Every word. Now, we are going to now solve some problems. Now, first 4 problems are already given in the slides. I think these are also discussed, but I'm still going to write the code with you. Okay, so you also write with me. It will be easier. So this is problem 1. It is saying after this we will do some new problems. Okay, because if somebody didn't understand from the lectures, that's why I'm solving this once more time. So find whether the given number is even or odd. This is the most basic Python program. Any language, this program is the most basic one. Okay, so you tell me what is the logic behind finding odd or even numbers? How do
So
we
you
check?
we take the number and take mod of 2. If that returns 0, then it's a even number. If it returns 1, then it's an odd number.
Correct. Very straightforward logic. If some number I take, let's say num variable, if mod 2 of that is exactly equal to 0, it's even, otherwise it's odd. Right. So let's just quickly write the code. So let's call this odd even. I'll increase the font for you. This is visible for everyone, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
See, how to take user input. Now I want to take a number as input from the user, and then I'll check whether that is odd or even, and I'll print accordingly. Right. So the way to take integer input, if I want to take integer input, right? Int input. Good. So int input. Now inside this, I like to write something because otherwise it looks very bad when you don't know when to input. So enter a number. This will come as default, and then you can enter your number. Right. Then you can write if. Now this is one classic example of if-else statement. So instead of reading it in theoretical way, if you do programming, you will learn faster. So num%2, let me just put some spaces. Num%2 equal to 0. If this condition is true, right? This is the way you write an if statement. So you write if keyword, then you write your condition. This is the condition part, and don't forget the colon. Okay, it is very important. Then you press and enter. It will automatically take your indentation. You write print. Obviously, if it is equal to 0, it is what? Even. Next, we'll also put an else part to this. So else, again colon, print, odd. Very easy program. I'm sure all of you have done this by yourself only. Run it. Now it is asking for an input. Let's give 27. It is returning odd. One more time, let's run for an even one. Okay, 48, giving even. So running perfectly. Any doubt in this one anybody has?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
No, ma'am.
Then we'll go to the second problem. Okay. See, it is saying that find whether the number, given number, ends with 0 or 5 or any other number. Now we saw for strings that there is a method. Now what do I do for number? Now I have to write. So for string, what is the method if I want to check what it ends with? What is the method? See, this
Mod
method
with 5.
Is dot ends with
0 or not.
X number mod with 5.
Yeah, for that it is okay. Now if it was a string, then I could just use ends with, right? But it is not a string, so I have to write here. Okay, let me write it separately. So we can call this as, let's say, problem 2. Now again take first take the input. So again int input, enter a number. So first what I can do is I can take out the last digit. The way to extract that is, let's write last digit. Like you said, I can use mod. Is it better to use an absolute value? Why am I using absolute?
Positive, negative.
Because negative number.
Negative number also I can take. So absolute will just give me the mod value, right? So num %10, the entire absolute value I'll get. First convert this num, whatever number you're entering, to an absolute mod value, neutral value, right? And then you take the %10 that will extract the last digit of the number. Now there can be three possibilities. First possibility, inside the if statement, let's check if last digit is equal to 0. Okay, first possibility. Then you print 0. Okay, second possibility. So whenever there are more than one possibility, so if it is a simple yes no question like odd even, so there is no third possibility, either a number is odd or it is even. So I write simple if else. If there is a third possibility, see here there are, my problem statement is asking me what, that whether a number ends with 5 or 0, right? It can also end with 7 or any other number, 7, 9, anything. So that is your third possibility. So three possibilities whenever it comes, or more than two, we always use elif statement, right? For the second one, see, always else will be at the end. So elif, that means else if last digit is not 0. So else if last digit, what is our other possibility that we want to check? 5. Okay. For that, again print 5. Now last condition, since it is the last condition, I'll use else statement. If there were more than 3 possibilities, I can use one more elif and then go for the else. So else will always be at the end. Okay, this is the elif ladder. This is very well explained in the lectures also, so you can watch that too. So else print, just print other. Okay. So let's run this. Enter a number, tell me a number.
55.
55. So 5. Let's check for all possibilities, right? Let's take 10. It is giving 0. Again, we can take 67. Is giving other. So all three possibilities are working. Any doubt in this question? Anyone?
Ma'am, could you please explain line 4, last digit?
So last digit in this variable, this is a variable, right? First in num variable, I'm taking user input. So user will enter a number that will be stored in num. Okay. Now I want to check what the problem is asking. Check whether the last digit or the number ends with 0 or 5. Okay. That's what we want to check. So I have to extract the last digit. So to get that last digit, I can do mod of 10. Right. So if 67 is the number, 67 mod 10 is what? 7. So that is how you extract last digit. But now if I give a negative number, let's run this for negative also. Let's check. If I give minus 45, still it is giving 5. Why? Because I took absolute value. Whenever you put this absolute keyword ABS, it will strip this number of any positive or negative. Okay, it will give the absolute value, that is the mod value of the number, which is always, like, you can think of it as a positive value. Okay, and then you do %10, extract the last number, then you check with that last digit. So this last digit that you extracted, that is stored in this variable, last digit variable. Okay, so you can directly check with this variable in all the other conditions. Yeah.
Is the question asking for the 0, 5 or take the
This is the question. Yeah, this one. It is asking find whether it ends with 0 or 5 or any other. So this is the expected output. Okay. Is this clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Instead of modulo 10, can we do modulo 5?
Modulo 5. Right, you want to do modulo 5. So is that going to extract all the digits? It will work for, it might work for this problem because we want till 5. So, okay, first let me run. Let's check if it works. Now I will explain later. So why is it returning 0? Because when we do 5, mod 5, what are the numbers it can take? Mod 5, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? It will only take till 4. Whatever is, if you take mod n, then that can, what is the domain of mod n? 0 to n minus 1. Okay, that's why we can't take 5. It will not include 5 then.
Completely divided.
It will not include 6 also, 7 also, 8 also.
No, it will go till 0 to 4. Okay, 0 to n minus 1.
Okay.
That's why we are using 10. Okay. Any other question in this, or should we go to the next problem?
Can we use
Then what's the output of this code?
Output is, see, if I run this, so enter a number. If you enter any number that ends with 5 or 0, so it will return that. Okay, if it ends with 5, like 65, if I enter, it will give you the output as the last digit as 5. So it will only give you 5 or 0 if the number ends with 5 or 0, right? If it ends with any other number, it will give other. It will print other. Okay, if I write 67, then it will print other, because 5 or 0, only it works for these two. Okay.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, if we don't want to get 5 or 0, just want to check if whether 5 or 0 it is divisible by 5 or not.
Yeah, we are
try
not checking for
modulo?
divisibility, right? We are checking whether it is present or not. Modulo here is being used to extract the digit. To get the digit from whatever number you have entered, I want the last digit to be extracted. That's why I'm using modulo. Now, if you want to check divisibility, that's a whole other problem. Okay.
Okay.
Ma'am,
I can give you the
line
code
is
for that
only
also.
taking last.
Yeah, sorry, come again.
Ma'am, I'm asking that last digit is only taking last digit. Like if I take
Yeah.
example of 65, so it is taking only 5.
Look, I'll just write this down for you. Okay, this will be easier. One second. See, here if I write, where is the blank PDF? Yeah. So here if I write 65, okay, 65 mod 10. Okay, how does this work? You write 65, you divide it by 10. So it takes 660, what is the remainder? 5. Okay, this is what you get. This is the digit that is extracted when you do mod 10. Okay, whatever is the remainder. Understood?
Ma'am, can we convert the number to string and then
Yeah. String also you can do, and then you can check ends with. Okay.
Yeah.
Anything you can see. Whatever this thing I tell to students every time, whatever program I am writing, you can write it in many other ways. Okay. Whatever is easier to you, you follow that. Okay. Now, yeah. Any other question from this one? Should we go next one?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now this is a bit more interesting. So find the grade of student based on the given marks from 0 to 100. So this is basically how we get grades in our school, right? 0 to 100, whatever you have scored, according to that there is a grade. If you have failed, F grade, no grade. Okay. So if you here it has given us the criteria. So if you have scored less than 60, you're getting an E grade. If you scored greater than equal to 60, less than 70, then it's D, and like that you go upwards till A. So A grade is for people who have scored either 90 or above. Above means till 100, right? That is our range, 0 to 100. If you put, now if I input some value, let's say 110, then it will return what? Invalid input. It is out of the range. Okay, or if you input some negative value, that is also invalid input. So what we have to check is, we have to find the grade of student based on this given marking system. Okay, so we have to design a program for that, which will take input any number from 0 to 100, that is a marks that a student has got, and it will give you output what grade that student should be getting. Okay, let's write this. You also try writing with me, okay, so that if you run it now, if you are getting any error, we can solve it. So this is problem 3. So first we have to take input. Let's call it marks. marks equals to int input. Here I can write enter marks, just so people don't give invalid input. You can also mention 0 to 100. After this also some people might give invalid input, so we have to write a case for that too. This is first line. Next, what I have to do next, our if elif loop, that whole ladder will start, right? Now see, there is a little bit of a I won't say tricky, but it is like nested. Okay, nested if else. So outer, there is an outer else if block and there is an inner else if block also. So why this? Because two possibilities are there. Either your user has input the correct valid input, which is lying between 0 and 100, 0, 100 included, or they have given an invalid input. Now we will only check for the grading if the input is valid, right? We won't check for invalid input. There is no point if someone gives minus 110 and then I don't have the if else block prepared in that way, so I have to go through all the possibilities and then in the last else statement I will say invalid. So that's a lot of computational power for nothing, right? We can just straight away discard it in the beginning. So if 0 less than equal to marks greater than equal to 100, so this is the range in which I want marks. Okay, now inside the if else, this is the first nested if else. So if that is, if my marks is inside this valid range, then I will go check further. So if marks, what is the first criteria? Greater than equal to, I'm sorry, greater than
90.
equal to 90. Correct. Colon. Then you will print what grade? A grade. Okay. Print A. Next, elif, right? Because there are more than two criteria. Can't use simple else if, so you can write elif. Any number of elif statements you can use. So if marks is, next criteria is what? Greater than equal to 80, right? Greater than equal to 80. If yes, print grade B. Again, same elif statement you have to write this for. Let me just copy paste. Okay, so just change the criteria. 70 is for grade C. Again, 60 is for. So if it is greater than equal to 60, then what is the grade? D. Right. Now, inside the if else, that is this nested if else ladder I'm talking about, which is starting here. Okay, this else statement belongs to this if, this line 6 if. Last statement, else. So what is else condition? What will it print? E, right? Anything less than anything that is less than 60 is E grade. That is what is given in our question, I think. Let's see. Yeah. So less than 60 is E grade. So else statement will just print E. Now this is the inner if else ladder. Now what is the outer else? The outer if statement.
Invalid input. Else.
Correct.
Print invalid input.
Else print invalid input. Okay, let's run this once. So if I enter 88, what grade should I be getting?
B.
B grade, right? Is it printing that? Yeah, giving B. Now if I run this for some invalid input, let's say minus 120. Okay, for this it is giving invalid input. So code is working correctly. Any question? This problem? Anyone?
No, ma'am.
Ma'am, there is in this if loop.
Yeah. Which one? Tell me line number you can tell. Line number you can tell.
Ma'am, line number 14 else is in if loop and line number 16 else is outside if loop.
Correct. So this inner if in line 6, this else belong to this inner if. Okay. That's why they're in the same alignment. See, that's why indentation is important in Python.
Indentation is important in Python.
And this else in line 16 is for line 5 if. Okay.
Ma'am, what is nested?
Nested means whenever we say nested, that means same thing. Like if I say nested if, that means if inside an if, right? So this 6-line if, this if is inside this outer if. Okay. Only if the outer if condition is satisfied, then only we'll come to the nested if. Otherwise, we won't. Same thing you will see in for also. Nested loops are also there. Later on.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah.
If you give input as 0, I think it's something E.
Yeah. See, anything that is less than 60 is going to be E, right? So 0 is also going to be E.
Okay. So that big else, but big if contains 0, right? It's
Yes, yes. See, that's why I have given greater than equal to. So 0 is included.
Okay.
Ma'am,
yeah.
We can do without using the nested if also, na? Because I have did using.
Yeah, you can just write all the conditions like one by one like this. That is, you can do it without this nested if also. This is just efficient, I think. Okay. Any other question? This one? Okay. And let's do this now. So this you will tell me. Okay. So this is a flow chart. Now we have to convert this into a program. So first read the flow chart. What is this doing? Tell me.
It's finding the
okay, wait. Let me say who will tell me. I can't see any of your names.
Ma'am, please share the screen.
Yeah, I'll share. 1 second. Just want to see. I can't see anybody's name. Okay. Ankit. Ankit is there?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Can you see this flow chart? Just try and tell me what this represents. What is it doing? Take your time. Go through it. So tell me one thing. Wherever I have this boxes, right? This thing. What is this? How will I represent this in terms of code?
We have to take a decision, ma'am, in this
decision.
Yes, ma'am. Decision making.
So how do we? So
we
how
can use if, ma'am.
Correct. So whenever we have decision, that means what? We are asking a question, right? Time longer, shorter.
What is the difference between if and elif?
If and elif. So if means what? Simple if else. Okay, without an elif means what? You have only two choices. So when I did that odd even program, right? So there are only two choices. Either a number is odd or it is even. So if mod %2 is equal to 0, even, else odd. Now you might have more than two choices, like in that grading problem, right? So there the grade can fall in any of the categories. So you cannot write if, else. So instead of that, we write if the if condition is not true, then you check the second condition, else if. That means if that if condition didn't work, then else if, check this condition. If this also doesn't work, check another else if. So if you have more than two conditions, okay, in your conditional statement, then you use an elif ladder. Elif means else if. So multiple conditions you can give in multiple lines.
Okay, madam. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so I was saying that in this decision box, right? So I don't know if I did I teach you CT? I don't remember.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So I told you, right, that in decision box we always ask a question. So question has two answers, yes, no, or any two choices. So here we can see there are two arms, longer, shorter. So time, I'm asking that start. This is the terminal box, start box. Then this is a process box, right? Which is where we do all kinds of processing, any initialization, assignment, any arithmetic operations. So here in the process box, it is written travel from city A to city B. That means our objective is from go to point A to point B. Next, the flow is coming to this decision box. So time, I can see there are two arms. One is saying longer, one is saying shorter. That means, what is the question? That what time do you have in your hand for this travel? Do you have a longer period of time or do you have a shorter period of time? Accordingly, you can then advance in the flowchart. So if I say I have longer period of time, so what will I do? So I take this longer arm, right? And this is leading me to another decision box, this price box. So that means this box is asking what? That can you pay a higher price or can you pay a lower price? If I say that no, I can pay only a lower price, so I will go to this arm. This arm is leading me to the second process box, that is coach. That means if I can pay a lower price, then I can travel in coach. But if I can pay a higher price, I can travel in train. Okay. Similarly, if I now said that okay, here only I said that no, I need to travel in a shorter amount of time, so I will come to this decision box. Again, same question, can you pay higher or lower? If I say no, I can pay lower, then I have to travel in a red eye flight. Red eye flight means overnight flight, so they are usually cheaper, right? So again, if I can pay a higher price, then I can travel in daytime. Okay. All of these possibilities, whatever you choose, will lead to this process box. So this is your last process box where you arrive at the CTB. That means no matter which path you take, you will arrive at this part. You will arrive in CTB, no matter which approach. And then you can end. That is the terminal box. So our job is to create a program that will do exactly what this flowchart does. Okay, can we write that? Easy, right?
Yes,
Ma'am,
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
ma'am, whenever we can take decision, we can use if else
Yes.
statement, right?
So whenever there is a question, we can use if else. Whenever
Yeah.
there is a decision box.
Okay, it's clear.
Now let's try to write this. This will be a bit of a bigger code because there are lots of possibilities, right? So let's write problem 4. Okay. So first, to start off, so since there was a start terminal, right? We don't have anything like that here. So we'll just write print for this first process box. We can write print travel, whatever was written in that process box, same thing. Travel from city A to city B. This is our objective. Now, next, just keep referring to the flowchart. What is the flowchart saying? Now it is time to ask a question. That can you travel for longer time or shorter time? Okay. Now both possibilities we have to write. So obviously question means if. So if. Okay. First let's take input. First let's take time input, because first you have to give the input, right? That whether you are taking longer or shorter time. So I will write time inside this variable. I'll store that whatever input you give. So time equals to input. Inside this, I'm going to give enter time preference. So I'll also give what are the options available. I can write longer, shorter. Okay, so accordingly you can give the input. Now after this, let's write a semicolon and this is your input. Now here I can use strip method. Okay, now if somebody, since later on I am going to use this input in an if else statement, right? So I have to be very exact, very specific. I cannot have trailing white spaces. Okay, that will give an error. So I can just give a strip function. Maybe the user can mistakenly give a white space, but that will throw off the program. So give strip and then convert it to lowercase. Okay, someone might enter it in uppercase also or in mixed case. So we don't want that confusion. We'll just write whatever the user is giving, convert everything to lowercase. Now next, let's first do for the longer arm, right? That is, if the user enters longer, then what will happen? So if time is equal to longer. See, that's why I did that strip method, because this will take exactly this longer, this word, no trailing spaces. If time longer, then next what question am I asking? Price, right? If longer, then ask price. Can you travel in lower price or higher price? So accordingly I have to write. So if this is where I can do nesting, right? Only if time is longer, then I will ask this question. So first take price input. Then price variable, again take the input, enter price preference. Okay, also give the options that are available for pricing. That is lower or higher, anything you can choose. Again, same thing we will do, we'll write the strip method. Okay, so lower or higher, then you put wait, I didn't give the semicolon. Yeah, then write dot strip, get rid of all the white spaces if there are any, and also convert this to lower. Okay, now we can ask the next question. This is an example of nested if. So if price, let's first check for lower price. So if price lower, then we can print what was given in the question, coach, right? You can travel coach. Now here, how many options are there? How many options are there in the flowchart?
2.
If I say, I'm asking if I can travel lower price, then what option do I have? Only coach, right?
Yeah.
So is there a need for, can I directly write, do I
Go for
need
an
to write a
else.
separate
Else. Just go for an else. Yeah.
Okay, let me ask this. Since I have the price, right, higher or lower, I don't know, I have the price from input. Do I need to write a separate if statement to check for higher, or can I do an else if here?
We can just go for an else if here.
Else if, right? Elif
Yes,
makes
ma'am.
more sense. So put elif. Wait, I think the indentation is off. 1 second. So print coach, then elif price equal to, so I can check for higher now. So if it is not lower, I'll check if it is higher. And if it is higher, then print what? Train. Okay, this is done. One more thing can be what? What if the price preference they entered is neither lower nor higher? It is something invalid. That we will put in the else block. Right? You have to go for every possibility. So print invalid input. Okay, this is not given in the flowchart, but we have in our program we have to give every possibility. Next, now this longer time one is done, but we are still left with shorter one. So should I put else if or should I put else?
Else.
Else.
Right?
But what if somebody gives the time something other than longer or shorter? Then for that also I need an invalid statement, right?
Yes.
So I need to put an else if.
Elif.
This whole indentation is off. I have to redo this 1 second.
Actually,
Ma'am,
ma'am,
can you repeat again?
may I ask something, ma'am? Hello.
Yeah. Go on.
We are adding giving input longer or oblique shorter. So what is the reference of longer or shorter? There is some point which we just compare that below this will be longer or above this will be higher.
No. We don't have any such thing here. Okay, we are not going into that much detail. But yeah, could be in real life situations. Could be there could be some range.
No, but in this program, how do you know it is longer?
It is just no. It is just a string. Okay, it is just a string. There is no value in it. Okay, either you put longer or you put shorter. It has to be exactly these two words. That's why we have to use that strip lower methods to make sure that the string is exact. Okay, otherwise it will throw an error. Just give me a second. I have to change the indentation of all this.
And just a quick question regarding the indentations. So say if we are wrong with the indentations, so will it spit out error?
Yeah. Indentation, Python will give an indentation error for any little mistake. Okay, so always be very careful with indentation. I think there is some error. Okay, we'll deal with this later on. So for now we have this. Now let's go for the next arm, which is the higher one, right? So else if I'm using, again I'm using else if. Why? Because there has to be an else statement for an invalid time preference only. If some time is long other than longer or shorter, if someone has given an input. So else if time. Now we are going for shorter. If someone has entered shorter, then what
Ma'am,
is the first thing? Yeah.
why can't we use else then time equal to shorter?
Then how will you put that other condition, that invalid input condition, if someone gives a time input which is something other than longer or shorter? Right. So that is also a
Ma'am,
possibility.
we will go give them only two options, longer or shorter. There is no midway.
Yeah, that you can do. See, that you are saying, you know that there are only two options, but there are certain users who might still give something else. Okay, something other than longer or shorter. So where will that be handled? That has to be handled somewhere, right? It needs to print out something. Of course, if you don't give that else print statement, it won't do anything. It just, your program won't print anything because none of the conditions will match. But it is good practice to always print something for every possibility. Okay, so that the user knows that what went wrong. Okay, now let's say I wanted to type longer, but I mistyped and maybe I wrote something else. So maybe I missed a variable or a character or something. So in that case, when I run the program, nothing will be printed. So instead of that, if it is printed that invalid input, then I will know that okay, I wrote something other than longer or shorter. Okay, that's the idea.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. So again, same thing we have to do. Let's just copy paste, not waste time. Price, lower, higher. Again, you have to take with strip and lower methods. Now right here, take a price input. Again, it has to be any one of these, but it might not be. User can give some other input also. So if price equal to lower, then we print. So what was that in the flowchart? I think red eye flight, right?
Red eye flight.
Red eye flight. So for lower price, you can travel in red eye flight. Else if price equal to higher. Sorry, it has to be all lowercase, higher. Then we'll go to daytime flight. Right? If you have money, you can go to daytime flight. Else, if somebody did not give any of these, higher or lower, then you have to also take care of that. So for that, the else statement will simply print invalid input. So both arms now I have taken care of. Next, I'll come out of the elif statement and finally write the last else statement, which is for. So tell me, for this else statement, which is the if statement in which line?
The time equal to longer.
Fifth line.
Fifth line, this outer if. Correct. So for this else statement, that means if somebody puts a time which is neither longer nor shorter, for that you will write print again invalid input. So now all possibilities are handled. Is that the end? No. We also have to write one more print statement for this last process box, arrive city B. Right. So outside, now this print statement needs to be outside of all this if else blocks. So you directly write print. That means this, if it is outside, means it will be printed anyway. Right. So arrive city B. Okay, let's try running this. I think I'll get some error. Yeah. So this thing is not matching. Why it's not matching?
If and else if are not matching actually.
Yeah, I think this is okay, na? Yeah, now it's corrected. See, this much indentation can give error. Okay, now let's run. Yeah. So first it is asking enter time preference. I have a lot of time, let's say longer. Lower or higher price? Now I have, let's say, I can travel for a higher price. So I get the train, I arrive at city B. Now see, if I didn't use this strip method, okay, let me remove the strip from here. Time input, yeah. Let's remove strip. I'll keep the dot lower. I'll remove the strip. Now run this code. Longer or shorter? So I am writing longer, but I am putting a space after it. So it gives invalid input. Okay, it is no longer classified as this, but this will not happen if you do the strip. Okay, because it will get rid of all white spaces inherently. So user can make such mistakes, right? So this is a good practice to give strip. Any question in this? Tell me. Any part you didn't understand?
Ma'am, if time is shorter, then we start from 14 line.
Yeah, if time is shorter, then it will come to, see, first it will check the if statement. Okay, this statement. When this condition becomes false, then it will go to the next else if, this one. This will become true. So then it will execute inside else if. Okay, it always starts checking from the first if. If it doesn't satisfy, then it comes to the next condition, that is else if. Okay. And since I have written this print last arrive city B statement outside, so it will always print this. Actually, it is better if you print it inside this else if, because if somebody gives this longer, shorter, wrong, right? Some other thing if they give instead of longer, shorter, then it will print invalid input, and other than that also it will give arrive city B, like here. But this is not good. You can just put this inside this else if block or if block, anywhere you want. Okay, so after this daytime flight, you can put print arrive city B. Similarly, after red eye flight, you can put arrive city B. Same thing. Okay, is it clear? Anyone? Any doubt? Tell me.
Hello, sorry, ma'am. Will you
Yeah.
please repeat this strip part?
Which one?
Strip.
Strip, yeah. So strip means what? What does strip method do? It gets rid of all the white spaces, trailing white spaces. Okay, if I don't write anything inside this parenthesis, then it takes white space by default. So strip means what? Get rid of. So get rid of the white spaces. Like, for example, if I write, let me run this again. So now here, wait. Yeah. So now here it is asking longer or shorter, right? If I write longer, after that I give a white space. Okay. It will still go to the next question and I can still continue with the code. But if I didn't have this strip method, now because I had the strip method, the last trailing space that I gave during my input is already removed. Okay, because I have strip. It will get rid of any trailing white space. But if I didn't have strip, then it will take that white space along with longer as the entire string. So then when you do the string matching, it will give invalid input because longer is not same as longer white space, right? That's why you have strip method. Okay. See, if I remove, show this one more time. If I remove strip, okay, and okay, here I have to finish this. Okay, if I remove strip, now I run this and I write longer with a space. So now this space will not be removed since strip is not there. So it is giving invalid input since this is not same as just longer. Now it takes this. Okay. Clear?
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yeah.
I have a small doubt. Like this strip function, this removes the white space which is present at the end of the string or in between, like anywhere the white space that's present in between the string.
See, if I, let me just do this since you're asking. So if I just start with a white space, okay, and then I give longer, still it is an invalid input. So any white space that is before the string or after the string, it will remove.
Okay, so it doesn't work for in between the string.
No, in between is that is part of your string. Okay, that it will not mess
yes,
with.
it will be
Just
considered
trailing
as a
ones.
character.
Yes.
Yes.
Correct.
Ma'am,
Yeah.
in this example, suppose we are giving some false information that is like longer and space.
Yeah.
Still, it is giving arrive city B.
Yeah, that's what I said. No, that this is not good actually. You can remove this. So if you remove this, you can put it in all these places. Okay, wherever the wherever the input is correct. Here you can give arrive city B. Then again, data implied you can give arrive city B. For invalid input, it will not arrive, right? Because that is not a correct choice. So for coach you can give. For train you can give. This is better. Okay.
Okay, okay.
This way you can write. If I write it outside of the else if block, then it will always print it no matter what.
Yes, yes.
मैम excuse me मैम
Yeah.
मैम जो इनवैलिड इनपुट का एक्सप्रेशन है वो हमारे पास जितने ऑप्शन होंगे उतनी बार राइट करना होगा.
हाँ, क्योंकि this possibility is occurring inside every else if block, right? Every else if block has this one option that can happen. So you have to write the invalid input. I mean, this is good practice. People don't usually write it, but it is good practice. Okay.
Okay.
So that you take care of every possibility. Mistakes can happen, right? Okay. Anything else in this one? Is this proper? Like it is matching with the flow chart? Okay. Any complaint? Okay. Tell me any other doubt, or we will go for the next problem.
Ma'am.
Yeah.
Ma'am, can you write this code in terminal? How to write this code?
In terminal, actually, I am having some issues in my laptop right now. That's why I'm using Spider also. Okay, I'll show you in next class. Is that okay?
Okay, ma'am.
See, here also you can write. Okay, in this one you're saying this console. In this one also you can write. Okay, but I write like this only. I mean, whatever you're using in terminal also you can directly write. No problem. If you don't want to use an ID, if you have Python installed, it's fine.
Ma'am, we have some problem for solving GRPA.
GRPS will be. Yeah, sorry. Come on.
Ma'am, we did not understand how to write code in terminal or GRPA.
You did not understand how to write code in terminal.
Terminal or GRPA, like same, both are same, no?
Yeah. GRPA, you are saying. GRPA, you will write the code in the portal itself.
Ma'am,
He's asking for Python tutor, I think.
Wait, let me check one second. This you are saying. Wait. See, my laptop is running very slow. I don't know, some issue is happening, so I have to restart and all.
Your update is required.
Yeah, I didn't get time to do it.
Already
So
updated, ma'am. There will be restart. Need restart.
Yeah, so I'll do that after the class. I'll do it. See this. GRPS. This one you're saying variable assignment. This.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so you can directly write here, no? This is given.
Ma'am, this is like terminal.
Yeah. Just see. This is exactly how your OPE will also be. Okay. You have to just write in the port. It is very simple. See, once I'll just show the not graded ones.
Ma'am, you can show Python tutor is same as the.
Madam, we can show that in the course introduction, there is one Python textbook and runtimes, and there it is Python tutor live programming. Then you can show that, and we are practicing in that only.
I think in the orientation, I mean in the first class, I think that was already explained, these things. So in course introduction, here I think you can see how to submit a programming assignment. This one, Python textbooks and runtimes. This one you can check out. Everything is given here. Okay. Also, see, this demo video you can check. Okay. Also, I think in the introductory session, this walkthrough is given. Anyways, just check that. I mean, in the portal itself, exactly this way your OPE exam will also be. Okay, so you have to be comfortable with this.
Ma'am.
Yeah.
In tutor class, Reddit Replit
Yeah,
dot.
yeah, Replit is used, right?
But I am not able to use that Replit. It is web development or something like that.
I also had some issues with Replit. That's why I'm using Spider. See, it's not mandatory. You can use anything. Okay, any other ID you can use.
We can directly install the Python from the Python server.
Yeah. That also you can do. You can use VS Code, whatever works.
Yes, VS Code and Python.
Yeah, I think there is that also, that other Anaconda or
Madam, Colab also can be used. No?
Colab also you can use. Yes. Okay. Any notes
And
that are
can you
given are
please
usually going to be in Colab only. Yeah. So can we?
we get this code? If we can't, then can you please copy paste it?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'll copy paste it one second. Do one thing. Okay. Just I'll paste my email ID here. After the class, you mail me. Whoever wants the code, I'll give you a drive link. Okay.
Okay.
For all the problems. Okay, I've pasted my email ID. Just mail me once. Alright, now should we go do some other problems? Okay, outside of these four that are given. So first problem we'll do is, okay, let's start with some easy ones. So if I want to find, let's do the leap year program. Okay, it's a very common program that is asked everywhere. So we will check whether a year is a leap year or not. Okay, this is classic problem you can solve using if else. So let's first write the problem statement. So problem is saying identify leap year. Okay. We have to take input from user. So you tell me what is the condition to check leap year?
Good, Ekant. Hey, dude,
Others, please mute. If you don't have anything to say, please mute. Disturb the students.
तार लगा गए तो ये बस कर कुछ करे तो कर लिया को नहीं पटक दीजिए
Mukesh, can you please
दोबारा गर्म
mute?
करो
Yeah, thanks. Okay. Yeah, now tell me, what are the conditions for leap year? For leap year. So it can be three things we check.
It should be divisible by 4.
Yes, divisible by 4, that is one thing.
Second condition, if it is divisible by 100, then it should be also divisible by 400.
So actually here,
Two conditions.
Actually, here then divisible by 100 and divisible by. I think
first
the
we have to check whether
modulo
it is divisible by 400. Okay. First check that. If it is divisible by 400, directly you can say it's a leap year. Okay, no need to check anything.
योगेश यार
Other-
कुछ गड़बड़ हो
other
गई तने यार
condition-
चादर बाहर पटक रखा आज
Please don't do this. This is really
चादर बाहर सुखा रख दिखो तने आज
मैं mute everyone.
ऐसे सुखा दी
Yeah, just mute all. Okay. You can still unmute and ask doubts. Okay. Yeah. So second thing what we can do is we can check whether a year is divisible by 4. But if it is divisible by 4, it also has to be not divisible by 100. Okay. Is 2016 a leap year? Yes or no? Unmute and answer. You can answer.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Is it divisible by 4?
Yes, ma'am.
Is
Yes.
it divisible by 100?
No.
No.
Is 2000 a leap year? Is 2000 a leap year? Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
So for such years, see, like years like 2000, it is a leap year. So for that, you don't need to check specifically if it is divisible by 4 or 100. In that case, you check with 400. Okay, that will come in the first condition only. So all such years like 2000, which are directly divisible by 400, we know it's a leap year. So that will be our first condition. If the year is divisible by 400. Else, if it is not divisible, like 2016, if that is my year I'm entering, it is not divisible by 400, it is still a leap year. So what is the condition for that? You have to write in else if block whether it is divisible by 4, exactly divisible by 4, and not divisible by 100. That's the rule. Okay. So either divisible by 400 or second condition is divisible by 4 but not divisible by 100. These two together have to work. Okay, if none of this, then in else part you can write it's not a leap year. Okay, now for this let's write the program. So first you have to take year as input. So int input again. What is this? Okay, year is equal to int input. You can write enter a year. Okay, so this is your input block. Done. Now you'll start checking. First condition, if check if year percent 400 is equal to 0. So this will catch which years? Years like 2000. It will catch it right here. Okay, like 2400. These years it will catch. So year percent 400. If it is 0, directly print. Okay, now we can learn about a little string formatting. Okay, this is just syntax. No need to get like nervous about this. You can just write it like it. F, if you write F outside, then we can use the variable inside and it will still print the value that the variable is carrying. Okay, if you write inside braces, now write year. Okay, different ways of string formatting are there. This is just one of those ways that we will discuss in another class. F year is a leap year. Okay, this is one condition. Next condition is else. So if it is not divisible by 400, there's still a possibility that it is a leap year. Next,
Ma'am, why you write F?
This is syntax. Okay, this is string formatting. I'll discuss string formatting in a different class. We are not discussing it right now. This is just syntax. Think of it as just syntax for now.
Okay, ma'am.
So whenever we write like this, if I write like this, inside braces, whatever variable I'm using, it will print the value that that variable is storing. Okay. So year, whatever year I have taken input, it will print that. So that year is a leap year. Next, in else if we are writing year percent 4. This is one condition, is equal to 0. So it is divisible by 4, and I need to join two conditions which both have to be true at one time. So I'm using and. Year percent 100 is not equal to 0. So divisible by 4, not divisible by 100. Both have to be true. Then you write, again, let me just take the print statement. It is again a leap year. Last one is your else. So else, if none of this, then you can directly write that it is not a leap year. Okay, let's see if this is working. So you enter a year. Tell me any year. From the future also, let's take.
2002. 1900.
1900, okay. From the past.
2077.
Okay, that will also check. 1900 is not a leap year.
Ma'am, all leap years are divisible by 4. Then why should we divide by 400 and the and condition we are providing?
See, is 2016 divisible by 400? No. But 2000 is. So directly we can take 2000 out by this. For 2000 we don't have to individually check. Okay, now every year that is divisible by 4. Okay. Is that a leap year?
Yes, ma'am.
We know that every leap year is divisible by 4. Right?
Okay, fine.
So that's the reverse way you have to think.
Ma'am, actually, I do not understand. Why can't we directly use only the 4 one?
Okay, let me find such a year which is divisible by 4, but not
1904.
1904. Okay. Let's check for 1904. Yeah, one second, I'll answer. 1904 is a leap year. Okay.
2040.
2040.
Ma'am, why you type S
This is also
before year?
which one? Oh, this is string formatting. Okay. String formatting is not in this lecture. We're going to discuss string formatting in another lecture where there are different types of string formatting. Okay, that means the ways in which you can print a
F-string.
variable. So this is F string. Yeah. Okay. So, okay, let me find a year by which I can give an example.
1906.
1900, ma'am.
1900. Wait.
2300 also.
2020.
Okay. So if I take 1988. Okay. Is that a leap year?
No,
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
1988 is a leap year. So this is one such year which is divisible by 4 but not divisible by 100. Then again, there are those years which end with double zeros, right? So 1900 is also such a year, okay, which ends with double zero. Is it a leap year?
Okay. So because the question asks specific type of leap year,
Yeah.
we are
So
finding.
this is why I did this question, because it comes in a lot of different interviews, coding rounds. This is a very basic question that people ask because leap year has two different logics, so that you have to remember. I can think on the spot. That is very well. Okay. So both things you have to check. Here in the first
1900 is
statement,
a leap year or not, ma'am? 1900 is a leap year or not?
yeah, one second. Let me just
No,
run
it's not leap year.
1900. If I put, it is not a leap year. Okay.
But that doesn't
But
enter.
it is divisible by 4. Okay. It is divisible by 4, but it is not a leap year.
No, but that
Yeah.
won't enter that ELIF at all, right?
No, it won't. It
Yeah.
will directly go to this one. So
Else.
first it will check with this. If it will also check with this elif. Okay. All you have to check step by step. If the if statement is declined, 1900 is not divisible by 400. So if statement not satisfied. Next condition is what? You check this year divisible by 4, not divisible by 100. If this is also declined, then you go to else. Okay, so it will check all the conditions before declaring it not a leap year. Okay. So leap year problem, please everyone practice this one. Okay, this is important for exams also. Any other doubt, or should we go to the next question?
Ma'am,
Yeah.
I mean, how you are checking that if elif and else are in one alignment or not?
This is the indentation, right? See, you can see that there are no spaces in line 579. Okay. Anyways, if you use any Python ID, whenever you press enter, it will take the default indentation that should be there.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Any other question? Okay, I have a good problem after this. So we have to find the longest word in a sentence. Yeah. Can't hear you. Can you speak a little louder?
Why you take 400
Why I took 400? So 400 is for years like 2000, which are exactly divisible by 400, right? So year 2000 is a leap year, right? But it is divisible by 4, and it is not, it is, see, if I take this condition, year percent 100 not equal to 0, that will not work for 2000, right? 2000 is divisible by 100. So for this elif condition, it is not true, but it is true for this first if condition. It is divisible by 400. So there are certain years which are divisible by 400 and are leap years, and there are certain years which are not divisible by 400, but they're divisible by 4 and not divisible by 100. So if both these conditions satisfy, then also they are a leap year. Then there are also certain years which are divisible by 4 but not a leap year, like 1900. So that's why this 100 condition is also required. Okay. For it to be a leap year, either the year has to be completely divisible by 400. If not, then it has to be divisible by 4 and not divisible by 100. These are the two conditions. Okay. Okay. Now let's do
Ma'am, we
one.
can.
Yeah.
No, nothing.
No,
Just
you
talking about. We can reduce the length of this code by you joining these two.
Yes. That
by
also you can do. any way you want to write. Okay, I'm just writing in simple way so that everybody understands.
Ma'am, in line 8, can we use string here?
Which line?
Ma'am, so 2024 is not a leap year, ma'am.
2024? No, it's not.
But didn't we have it as a leap year? We had
Wait,
29 February.
2024 is. It is a leap year, no?
It
It
is
is
a
not
leap year.
divisible
It
by
is a
100.
leap year.
So the question is that it should not be divisible by 100 and it should be divisible by 4.
Okay.
Okay, 2024 is a leap year. Yeah. 1900 is one such year, which is divisible by 100. That's why it's not a leap year. Okay. This is
Ma'am,
just a
in
little
line 8, can we
confusing.
use string here?
Can we?
In line 8, can we use string here?
String. This is
Yeah,
string only,
rather
right?
than F. No, you used rather F there.
Yeah, there are different ways of formatting. Which one you want? Whichever one you want.
So we can write string here. There.
Yeah. String also you can use.
Okay.
These are not, see, this is not important. This is not the difficult part. Okay, when I teach formatting, all types of formatting I'll show you. Okay, any you can use. The main thing is the logic. Just understand the logic. Formatting anyone any way you want. Okay, now let's do this one problem. This is the last problem we'll do today. I think that's enough for now. I'll give you some other problems also which I have. I'll share that with you. If you want those extra problems, you can mail me. I'll give you the problems and the code. Okay. So find the longest word in a sentence. This is also very basic problem that comes. So problem is what? Longest word in a sentence. Okay. Now you tell me what is the logic for this program? What can I do? I'll take the sentence as input. Okay. Now what can I do to find the longest one?
Count of each letter.
Okay. That means every word you're saying, right?
Yeah, count of each letter of a word.
That means letter count for every word we need to know. So how can we distinguish the words inside an entire sentence which is taken as a string one time?
Split by this.
There is something called a split method, right? Split does what? Split will split the string into components like a list. Okay. Now if I take a sentence
by space.
Split by space.
Split by space. Yeah.
So in the parenthesis, if you don't mention anything, it will take space as default, right? You can split by anything, like you can use hyphens also, whatever you're using. So first let's take a sentence. Sentence will be input from user. So write input, enter a sentence. Okay. So now you got the sentence. Now you have to find the longest word. So in the next line, if I introduce a list called words, list is nothing but array in Python, right? Array of elements. So inside a list, there are multiple elements that are present. Usually we can take of the same data type. Okay, so whenever I do this split, list and all we'll discuss later on. Okay, this is very introductory week, so I'll just tell you what this method does. So sentence dot split. Now inside this parenthesis, I haven't mentioned anything, right? I haven't given a parameter. So it will take default space. Similarly, just like we did with strip, it took default space, white space. So this method will split this sentence according to white spaces. Wherever it finds a white space, that is a partition. So enter is one element, A is one element, sentence, I'm sorry, like whatever sentence I am entering. Let's say I am entering Python is fun. So Python is one element. Is one element. Fun is one element. These are elements of a list. What is the list? This words. Okay. Inside this words list, all these elements will be stored individually. Okay, it looks like this. If I want to write it, this is my sentence. Python is fun. Now when I split, when I do this dot split, s dot split, okay, where I'm storing it? In a words list. So this words list looks like this. Python is one element inside it. A string is fun. Okay, this is how it looks. Same list like we learned in CT. Now I can go through this elements of this list, right? So next statement you can write. Let's introduce something called longest word. Okay, this is the variable in which I'll store the longest word. So let's declare this as a string type of variable and store an empty string. For word, so now I'm just iterating through that list, every element in that list. So for word in words, words is the name of the list. Word in words.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yeah.
Ma'am, after fourth sentence, why you give space? Is
No
it
need.
necessary?
I just gave. Okay, no need. You can write all in
Okay.
one go. Okay, so for word in words, right? What is your condition? If length. So we have the len function for strings. So if length of the current word that I have is greater than length of the what? What should be in the brackets? With what am I comparing?
Longest word.
Longest word, correct. The longest word. So initially longest word length is what? Does it
Zero.
have anything?
Anything space.
Zero.
Right. So whatever word comes first, that will become the current longest word, right? In the first iteration. So if length of word is greater than longest word, then longest word will be updated. Longest word equals the current word. So like this for Python is fun. So Python has length 6. 6 greater than 0, yes. Longest word is Python first. Then comes is. Is length is 2. 2 greater than 6, no. So no update will happen. Again fun. Fun is 3 letters long. 3 greater than 6, no. That means longest word at the end, last iteration will still contain Python only. That is the longest word in your sentence. Right? After that we have to print it. So come out of the loop and just write a print statement. I'm still using that f string. Okay, you can use whatever you want. So if the longest word is, then you can write, I'm just using an extra quotation, okay. Longest word. Okay, let's see. So the sentence I'm entering is Python is fun. The longest word is Python. So this is working, right? Any other sentence if you want, you can check with this. Is this code clear for everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
This is the same as we learned in CT, right? How to find the maximum. That same logic is working here. Okay. So I think that's enough. I have 5-6 more problems. If anyone wants, I can share on mail. Okay, you just send me a mail, I'll share. And all of this code also, if you want, I'll share. Yeah.
Excuse me, ma'am. What
Yeah.
will happen when we use strip instead of split?
If you use strip, then it is just stripping the white spaces, right? It will just strip any trailing white space, nothing else.
Okay.
Okay.
Ma'am?
Yeah.
What is the sixth line meaning?
So this is, I'm just introducing this longest word variable, and inside it I'm storing an empty string so that I can start my comparison.
That means it is starting from 0.
Yeah, the beginning length of this is 0.
Okay.
Okay.
Ma'am, one question. Why do we need to use the for here?
Sorry, come again?
On the line number 7, why do we need to use the for there? Can't we start with
This
the
is
if directly?
no, this is a loop. Okay, so we are traversing through every element in the words list. So this is a for loop. We haven't come to loops yet. That's why I thought I shouldn't do this problem, but it is a good problem. So basically, for loop does what? if I have a list of elements, right? Like here I wrote that when I'm splitting, it splits into a list like this. Okay, Python is fun. So every element of a list. So now I want to check for every element, right? To find the longest word, I have to go through all the elements in the list. So for that, I use something called a for loop. So for loop iterates through these elements. So for the first iteration, it will take Python. Second iteration, it will take is. Third, it will take fun. Like this, it will go till all the elements are exhausted. Okay. This program I will again discuss when we discuss loops.
Ma'am.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Ma'am.
Yes. Ask.
One thing, WORD, one word is written and WORD is.
If you don't want this, no problem. Just write X. Okay. If that is better, just write X. Change everywhere to X. Anything you can take instead of that. Okay. This looks confusing. Just take X.
Justify what is X before writing.
X is just an iterator variable. Okay. It is just an iterator variable. So when you're iterating through that words list, every element that you're picking in each iteration is being stored in X temporarily. Okay. And then again in the next iteration, X value changes to the next element.
Okay.
Ma'am,
Your voice is breaking up. Please come again.
Ma'am, what if we have multiple words having same length?
It will take the first one. Okay, this program will take the first one. Now if I put a equal to sign here, then it will take the last one, because the last update will then happen. Okay. Yeah. So,
Ma'am, in previous question you wrote split lower. What? Why did you wrote lower there in previous question of flowchart?
oh, okay. Wait. This one, no? See, lower I put because I am exactly doing a string matching, right? So string is what? It is case sensitive. So that's why whatever input the user is giving, if they write longer but with L capitalized, then also this match will not make a problem, because anyways whatever input I'm getting, I'm converting it into entire lowercase, so that the string matching is not interrupted.
What's the meaning of lowercase?
So that I explained in the beginning, right? When we did string methods, dot lower means convert an entire string into lowercase. X dot lower. If X is a string, it will convert X into lowercase.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Am I audible now?
Yeah.
Ma'am, could you please share all the left problem that you are talking about so we can try?
Yeah, the rest of the problems, no, you can just
Google.
mail me once, no, I will share there. Okay. Yes, I don't know if my laptop, how long it will take to.
Google Meet chat box.
Yeah. You send me a mail, no, I'll send you by tonight or by tomorrow earliest. Okay.
Ma'am,
All the
can you
problems.
share your mail ID again?
Yeah, 1 second.
Thank you, ma'am.
Just send me a mail, I'll reply to everyone. I've shared again. Okay, it's manideva@study.iitm.ac.in.
Can you please share these programs?
Sorry?
Can you please share these programs?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, that you just send me a mail asking for these questions. I'll share all the code and problems with you.
Okay, sure. Thank you.
Yeah. I'll try from next class to share a Google Colab so that everyone can get in one place. Okay.
Thanks, ma'am.
Yeah. So, before we drop off, I have a request from you. So can you please let me know, like, what's your feedback, since this is the first class? So was my speed okay? Did you understand everything properly? Any doubts were unanswered or anything?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Very good.
If you have any feedback,
Ma'am,
please
the
let
way
me
you
know.
teaching is quite good.
Thank you. Okay. So throughout this, I'm saying, like, throughout the term, wherever there is any problem regarding any instructor session, you can let us know. Okay. Or TA sessions also. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Anything else?
Hello, ma'am.
Ma'am, can you explain line 4 again?
Can't hear. Come again, please.
Ma'am, line 4 sentence to split
Line
meaning.
4, yeah. So split is a method which splits a string. Okay, splits a string into component elements of a list. So whenever, so the string that I took, for example, if I write Python is fun, this is my sentence. So in s variable, I'm storing this string. If I write s dot split, then it will split this string into a list of strings like this, where each element is a word from that sentence. So split, according to this statement, split, I am doing the split based on white spaces, right? Because inside the parenthesis I haven't provided any specific parameter, so it will split wherever it finds a white space. So after Python there is a white space, so Python is one element. After is there is a white space, so is one element, then fun is one element. Okay, and these are all stored in the form of a list, which is words list. Okay. Anything else? Any other doubt?
Today's session was excellent, ma'am.
Thank you. So I'll just stop sharing. Yeah.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you so much, ma'am. We had a wonderful time. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am, for your wonderful session.
Thank you. Have a good night, everyone.
Thank you, ma'am. Good night.
Good night, ma'am.